Okay, y'all. And by the way, this is the cavalry. So, Whoopi, you're saying that you have to say it over and over and over again for all of us out here to understand, us bloggers. Well, and you have to say it 3 and 4 and 5 times so we can get it. Isn't that what you said? Well, let us say it to you 3, 4, and 5 times so you can get it. That's a deflection, what you're talking about, that you don't condone what Mel Gibson did. We're not talking about the fact that you condone or do not condone. We're talking about the fact that you said it wasn't racist. That's what we're talking about. Do you understand? I'll say it again. We're talking about the fact that you said that it wasn't racist. That's what we're talking about. The dude said nigger packs. Racist. The dude said wetbacks. Racist. The dude said that the Jews are responsible for all the world's wars. Racist. The fact that I have racist on my page tells me that he is a racist. In fact, what they say is that you are defending Mel Gibson because he is your friend. That's what you said as well. He is my friend. I know him. He has played with my children. So therefore, he is not a racist. Well, thank you for going ahead and putting all the responsibility on who is racist and who is not squarely upon your shoulders. And you make that decision for all the rest of us. But I'm about to pull that right away from you. What he did was racist. And what I'm going to point out to you is the problem that African American men are having with you, Whoopi Goldberg, is the simple fact that you do not defend African American men with the same ferocity. So my case to you is, if it were a black man, I'm going to say it again, if it were a black man, would you defend him with that type of scrutiny? Would you say allegedly for him? Or would you throw his black ass, your friend now, would you throw his black ass under the bus? Oh, I would also like to point out that days before this actually aired, the professor told his side of the story, and he specifically said that he did not argue with the police. These women are going with the police account, period, and not the professor's account, because he is a black man. Let's take a look.
They come out and play some more.
I know.
It's amazing.
But not the sip of gum. You were eating popcorn. We're drinking water.
Yeah.
People are drinking
Well,
beer.
that's 'cause you can't
never
sing.
stop. Anyway.
Wow.
That's
great.
why.
Good times,
That's why.
Barbara.
Now, charges were dropped against Harvard professor Henry Louis Gates Jr., who was arrested by cops responding to a home invasion call at his house last week. Now, his door was stuck and he had to force his way in. But after he showed his Harvard ID, and the officers still weren't satisfied, and he got a little pissed. And he was arrested for disorderly conduct. He was mad, you know, because someone, a neighbor, saw someone breaking into the house, she thought, and called the police.
You know,
Now, people
which is a good neighbor. If someone sees that happening, that's good.
You want folks to do that, but you also want to know that your neighbors at least have a clue to what you look like.
At 12:40 and at 12:44 in the afternoon. It wasn't like it was at nighttime.
Right.
It was 12:44 in the
But still,
afternoon.
you want somebody to do that. But the idea is, the question really is, would it have happened had he been a white guy?
That's what the thing is, that this is accused of being a racist act. The police department is embarrassed. The city of Cambridge said this incident should not be viewed as one that demeans.
I mean, they don't stand and argue with the police if they're a burglar.
Never argue with the cops.
Well, he showed the ID, which probably had a valid address on it. It has a picture. You can validate in terms of picture and verify who the person is. And then, worst case, they also cuffed the guy behind his back, took away his cane. I mean, at some point,
How big a burglar could he have been?
Thank you.
I'm going to hit you with my cane and rob you.
they should be embarrassed in
Black or white.
Cambridge.
Black or white. What about a little common sense?
Yeah.
After the man showed you this, and is upset. Handcuff him, book him.
But they've had incidents like this before, because in 2004, S. Allen Counter, who's a black Harvard professor, he's a neuroscience professor at Harvard, he was stopped because they thought he was a robbery suspect, and they were going to arrest him as well.
Was he driving while black?
He was driving while, and he crossed, and they wanted him to show the ID, and they thought he was a robbery suspect.
Really it's a terrible situation in this country.
And it's hard because you're glad that the lady was astute enough to call the police, because nobody wants to come home and find that their house got broken into. But you do want your neighbors, again, as I said, you do want them to just sort of get an idea that you might be living across the street.
Or how about the cops not take things to a
blazer on?
Yeah, but you know, burglars are smart.
They dress well.
Burglars dress well. I know these things.
What he's asking for now is an apology from the police.
And he said he'd be willing to forgive if they were to issue one to him, which I think shows a good heart.
But we have these examples of the police where I think they think that they're the supreme authority. It's the way, it's like that football player who was trying to get to his mother-in-law, and he explained, and it's like they think that they're God instead of, because I'm sure.
I got to say the other side. We have very bad examples, but for the most part, the police have very difficult jobs.
Absolutely, but
and do them with
their job is to protect and serve. But the thing about it is the way you talk to people. If you go to somebody, and if you talk to people a certain way, you get these examples of the police talking to people very belligerently.
But I do have to say something, because one of the things that happens is when you're caught up in your frustration and anger, both sides maybe should take a look at, because I love Skip Gates, because he's the man who told me where I actually came from in the mother country. But I really dig him, but I wonder if his getting so agitated with them sort of just got them to say, look, let's just take it somewhere else.
That's what they're saying.
In any case, it was a bad situation that was exacerbated by people not doing what you should do, which is exhibit common sense. If you're in the right, you don't have to be
Can I talk
praised.
about common?
That's right. I'm back. Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of the African American female population, let me give you a refresher course on what it is to be an African American man and what it is to have a bunch of women complain all the damn time, and they ally themselves mercilessly with racist white men. Henry Louis Gates, Harvard professor, it was and is his house, was trying to get into his house, showed proper identification that it was his house. Police officer, unauthorized, was in his house. Police officer then arrests Henry Louis Gates, coerces him into coming out onto his porch, arrests Henry Louis Gates for being inside of his house. He behaved, the officer behaved stupidly, Whoopi Goldberg, just like how you're behaving right now, stupidly. And even then, you could not back up. Who'd you call him? What'd you call him? Skip. You could not back up Skip, Henry Louis Gates. Found automatically guilty by you, Whoopi Goldberg, for being black. And you knew, because he was black and a man, that he must have said something to the officer. You sided with the white police officer. But, on the other hand, we have Mel Gibson, has said sugar tits, has said that the Jews were responsible for all the world's wars, has stated that he was afraid that his wife, in his anger, would be raped by nigger packs, threatened to call INS on a Hispanic citizen, and used the word wetback. But even then, even with all that in his own voice, you'd rather go with the concept that the tapes were altered or some crap like that. You will take any nougat, any small nougat, in order to be right. and to back up the white man. I understand that you love the white man profusely. But damn it, do you have to throw black men under the bus so easily? Do you have to treat us so bad? Do you have to treat the black community so bad? What? Hey, what can you say? And out to you, the women of The View, especially you, Whoopi Goldberg, great job to you, Joy Behar. Oh my God. If you knew what all the men were saying around here about you. But anyway, I will say this to you, Whoopi Goldberg, after watching that, and after everybody watching it too. Check and mate. And also, case closed!